How is Airbnb going to affect the real estate? What's going on, YouTube? It's Matt. Thanks for watching Mentorship Monday. Today's question comes from Faizan. Did I say that right? I'm not sure if I said your name right. I'm sorry if I said your name right. I'm not the best with pronouncing names, but it looks like it's Faizan, so let's just call you that today. But either way, your question is, hey, Matt, I want to know your thoughts on Airbnb and how will it affect today's housing market? So, interesting question. It's all, people talk about all kinds of, interesting, how will this affect that? How will Bitcoin affect the real estate market? How, is the market going to crash? We'll have our opinions of these things, but honestly, nobody has a crystal ball, first of all. What I'll tell you that I've seen about Airbnb and how I think it's going to evolve is I think Airbnb has put a squeeze on the niche hotel market, especially the hotel market during peak times. Like, let's say you want to go to New York Times for New Year's. Before Airbnb, you would have to just go and book a hotel, but now you can go and book, somebody's room, or if you're going to go and see the Super Bowl somewhere or whatever, you have other choices, and especially Airbnb has caused huge change in the vacation market because it allows people to do what they were doing already, which is to book short-term vacation homes, but now they can do it through a very easy-to-use online portal that's easy to use for the renter and for the owner, right? So I think Airbnb has made things easier, especially in the vacation market. Where I see the housing market, interesting question, but I think Airbnb really only affects the housing market in places where people really like high traveled areas. Like I said, near Times Square in New York or something like that. I don't think Airbnb is a big player or is going to cause a shift in the actual real estate market outside of vacation areas or places that are heavily traveled. That said, I do know landlords, and I do not do Airbnb, so let me caveat it with that, right? But there are a few landlords that I know that are Airbnb properties that are in regions like that, and they are absolutely crushing it. Like, these are properties that they might typically rent. If you rent to a long-term tenant, they might typically rent for like $1,500 to $2,000 a month, right? But because they're on Airbnb, they're getting like $4,000 to $5,000 a month in rent. So in areas of high travel where you can rent, say, between 15 and 25 nights a month, right? You can by far exceed what rental income you would make if you rented to a long-term tenant. So, but it's all about area selection. So to answer your question, I think that it depends on location, and there are some areas that Airbnb is really taking off, and there's some areas where Airbnb isn't a real player. The one thing I'll caveat it with, Airbnb, just like Uber, I think, that's my personal opinion, is not the regulations and the where it's going to be allowed and where it's not going to be allowed is not fully rolled out. There's talks of towns completely banning it in some places. Some vacation towns are banning it altogether. I'd heard that New York is trying to ban it or has already, whatever. So there are places where the regs are going to kick in, and that will push back on the people that are making money through Airbnb. So again, it hasn't fully shaken out yet. I tend to sit on the sidelines until things stabilize myself, but it's still an interesting question. It's good to speculate. Thank you for your question. If you guys have real estate questions, you know what to do. You want to send them to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. That is helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. Stop ringing. And you can check out, I'll answer your questions right here on our YouTube page, and for you and everybody else to learn from. Also subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to our Facebook page, check us out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great and profitable week.